Hey guys, me Dave. It's 3/16/2021, Tuesday night. So I'm sitting here thinking about what to talk about. Trying to give some informational to you guys, especially who have V2K. I had V2K for a year, you guys. Um, People just say, "Ooh, I'm getting the voices," and they're talking about what I'm wearing and all this stuff. I didn't get a whole lot of that stuff, you guys. When I was getting hit super hard, I had V2K at the beginning, almost for a year, about a year, and there's all kinds of things they can do with V2K. Some people believe they go through the ears. I believe they bypass the ears. Personally, I don't think they go through the ears at all. Um, there's different ways they can do V2K. Um, there's different effects V2K can have on a person. Some people shield and they're like, "Oh, I can barely hear my V2K. I can barely hear them. Oh my gosh, my shielding must be working." They do that on purpose. They do that for a reason. Remember, these people are here to hurt us. They're not here to help us. They're here to hurt us. Okay, so they do where you can barely hear them sometimes. They do that on purpose. I think they do it to entrain you to get subliminal messages, because they used to do that to me all the time. They would talk where I could barely hear what they were saying. I think they were entraining me to get subliminal messages later on. All right. Another thing they do. I have a friend on Facebook. Um, he gets real V2K. All right. They talk to him. He can hear them talking through his stomach, like if his stomach's growling, stuff like that. They do that. That's real V2K, you guys. I could hear them talking through the spit in my mouth if I was trying to sleep. I could hear them talking through the motor on the fridge. I could hear them talking through running water when I was drinking a glass of water or taking a bath, and they could amplify it off where it sounds like they're coming from the running water that's running. They can do it through a fan if it's running by your head. They can amplify those voices um, from the fan. They can amplify the voices um, uh, through trees blowing outside. That's real V2K, you guys. I don't know how they do it, but they can make it sound like it's coming from running water. If your stomach's growling, you can hear it through that. A running refrigerator, a running fan, that's V2K. If anybody wants to question me and say that I'm out there or whatever, John Hall talks about this. Dr. John Hall talks about this. And that's real V2K, and that's what I had. And some other people have that type of V2K, where when I was in the fake psych ward, I had a roommate. Of course, he was a perp. They would knock him out and make him snore. And they would do V2K through him when he was snoring. It sounded like it was coming from him, from him snoring. They would do V2K through that and knock him out, and he'd be snoring like, you couldn't wake him up with anything. And they would do that, you know. Alright, so another thing they do with V2K is, you probably hear Dr. Duncan talk about this. They keep you talking. They can keep you talking. They keep you talking all the time, talking to the chatterbox or the chatterbot. If it's a group of people, or 2 or 3 people talking, or if it's just one harasser talking all the time. I believe that is AI. He's on a looping pattern. You can tell it's a computer, and um, they can. Where was I going with this? They can kind of interrogate you, um, uh, but they can keep you talking all the time. Okay, now my ears are blocked, whether you believe it or not. It was on a documentary from the 70s. They block your ears to do behaviorals. All right, so they can tell, looking at your brain waves, looking at the spikes. They block. My ears are blocked. All right, I only found one other target with his ears blocked. But my ear's been blocked for 6 years. I don't know if the behaviors are more, when my ears are blocked or what. But they can do some freaky things. All right, so another thing they can do to interrogate you. They can interrogate you. They can keep you talking all night long, talking to the chatterbox all night long. All right. So what used to happen to me was I would try to get to sleep. They would somehow, I don't know how they would do it. It had to do with air or something. They were able to make me talk. I wasn't talking out loud. I'd be laying there, and my tongue would be moving, talking. My tongue would be stuck to the roof of my mouth. It was stuck there. And the muscles in my tongue would be moving and talking. And they were able to decode decode my thoughts and my speech and everything, to know what I was saying. Where I was having a conversation with the chatterbox. You know, you know, oh, it's so hard to explain. But they can do all kinds of things with V2K. They can do all kinds of different things. So, and they would interrogate me, and keep me talking all the time. I couldn't stop. I just laid down a couple hours ago, and they kept me thinking and talking all the time. I was talking all the time. They weren't doing the roof, the tongue to the roof of the mouth, but that's extreme when they do that. Like I say, they can force you to talk. Your tongue is moving. They're forcing you to talk, but not all loud. And your tongue is sitting there moving, like if you were talking, but it was stuck to the roof of my mouth. There's all kinds of things they can do, you guys. When I was getting V2K, they would do some horrible things to me. They would, there's people out there that say you can break this, but this is mind control. My attackers would say, okay, I feel a suicide attempt coming on, and subliminally, and I don't know, maybe heterodyning with it, they could almost try to get you to hurt yourself, almost take you over. Now, some people say you can break that, and for the most part, I think you can break that connection, but they can do all this stuff, you guys. Do all this stuff with V2K. It's not just, some people, they get voices and that's it. They're I mean, I can handle voices, but they were doing behaviorals with me in voices and subliminals at the same time, and hitting me with rage and doing all this other stuff. I mean, 3 or 4 different things at the same time. So some people just get voices, I guess, and they're just, they don't get skits, or they get good cop, bad cop, or something. It's on a looping pattern. It's a chatterbox. 2 or 3 people on there all the time. I got the real V2K where you'd take a bath and you could hear the voices through the water. You could hear the voices through my spit in my mouth. You could hear the voices through the trees blowing outside. That's real V2K. And stuff. And like I say, they'll do a silent, they'll talk where you can barely hear them. It's not your shielding working, believe me. It's not your shielding working. They could do it so you could barely hear them talk. That they do that because they're in training you for subliminals. That's what I think. I think they're doing that. Training your brain to accept subliminal messages. Because you're going to get subliminals later on, which are bad, They can do a little control with subliminal messages. You know, they can do all kinds of things, guys. I'm telling you, I've been through it. So anyway, I just thought I would talk about V2K 101. You know, they do skits. They do interrogation with V2K and remote neural monitoring. They will. They can play video of your past memory from 20 years ago. All right, or longer. They can bring that up and put that in your head and play a video when you're a little kid and you steal a pack of gum. They can interrogate you like hell, and they can force you to talk. You're not moving your mouth, but your tongue is stuck to the roof of your mouth, and it's moving, and they're understanding what you're saying. That's all. I mean, it's freaky stuff, man. I tell you, I could talk about freaky stuff. But there's certain TIs that say, "Oh no, you're out there," and "Oh no, I don't believe you," and "Oh, well, you better start doing some research then from Duncan and Dr. Hall and some other people out there, because it's verified. All the information I'm saying is verified. So if anybody doesn't believe me, they better start doing some research. You know, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about certain people out there. You know, call me out there and all this stuff. Anyway, so I just thought I would talk about that a little bit. They can do all kinds of things with V2K, not just not talking, you know, do all kinds of things. Interrogation, they can do all kinds of things. You can hear it through your stomach growling. I'm telling you, you could hear it through a bunch of stuff. You know, through the fan running, through your fridge. You know, they can make it sound like it's coming from a different room. They can make it sound like it's coming from the kitchen. They can make it sound like it's coming from the living room. You know, they can do all this stuff. They have a sound machine too, you guys. They can make it sound like somebody's shoveling outside when they're not. They can make it sound like somebody's banging something when they're not. You know, totally mind tricks on you. So you get mad at people. You're thinking, what the heck? What the heck are you banging for? Well, guess what? That's V2K. You know, so your family member's like, what are you talking about? Well, they're doing a V2K to trick you, get mad. You know, get mad at your family member, or get mad at whoever else. All kinds of mind tricks, a lot of tricks, you guys, a lot of tricks they play on us. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off. I just thought I would do kind of a information video tonight. I've been through it, you guys. So anyway, you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.